The sky burned orange, choked with ash and the faint screams of a world unraveling. It wasn't a bomb or a plague that ended things, but a slow rot. Resources dried up, governments crumbled, and people turned on each other like starved dogs. By 2032, cities were husks, and trust was a luxury no one could afford. Eli was a wiry man, 38, with calloused hands and eyes that didn't linger on anything too long. He'd been a mechanic once, back when machines still mattered. Now, he carried a rusted crowbar and a backpack with enough canned beans to last a week. Mara, 29, was his shadow, sharp-tongued, with a scar running from her left ear to her collarbone, a memento from a raider who'd underestimated her. She'd been a nurse, knew how to stitch a wound or break a fever, but her real skill was reading people. They'd met 6 months ago when Eli pulled her from a burning convenience store, raiders circling like vultures. Neither trusted the other fully, but survival demanded uneasy alliances. They moved through the skeletal remains of a Midwestern town, avoiding the feral packs that roamed at night. Society hadn't just collapsed, it had gone rabid. People formed tribes, some worshipping old gods, others new ones born of desperation. Cannibalism wasn't rare anymore. Eli and Mara stuck to the edges, scavenging what they could. Their goal was a rumored safe zone in the Rockies, a whisper of green fields and clean water. Neither believed it fully, but hope was a stubborn weed. Daylight was fading when they stumbled into trouble. A boarded-up pharmacy promised antibiotics. Mara's cough was getting worse, a wet rasp that kept them both awake. Eli pried the door open, and they slipped inside, the air thick with mold. They found a few bottles of amoxicillin, enough to buy Mara a few weeks. But as they packed, boots crunched outside. A pack of ferals, 6 men, 1 woman, faces painted with soot and blood, armed with pipes and blades. Their leader, a gaunt man with a necklace of human teeth, sniffed the air like a hound. Eli and Mara crouched behind a counter, hearts hammering. "We can't outrun them," Mara whispered, her knife already in hand. Eli nodded, calculating. The ferals weren't just scavengers, they hunted for sport. Running meant death, but fighting was a coin toss. He pointed to a back exit, barely visible through the gloom. "We draw them in, bottleneck them there." They moved fast. Mara smashed a glass vial, the sound pulling the ferals inside. Eli waited by the exit, crowbar raised. The first feral, a wiry kid with wild eyes, charged through the narrow hall. Eli's swing caught him in the temple, dropping him. Mara tripped the next, a woman with a machete, and drove her knife into the woman's thigh. But the leader was smarter, hanging back, barking orders. 3 more rushed in, and the hallway became a blur of blood and metal. Eli took a pipe to the ribs, gasping as he swung back, breaking an arm. Mara fought like a cornered animal, but a feral grabbed her hair, yanking her down. She screamed, slashing blindly, and Eli roared, tackling the man off her. They were losing ground. The leader stepped forward, grinning, his blade gleaming. "No safe zones, meet," he said. "Just us." Mara's eyes met Eli's, a silent agreement. She fumbled in her pack, pulling a lighter and a bottle of rubbing alcohol from the pharmacy. "Run," she hissed, smashing the bottle on the floor. The ferals froze as she flicked the lighter, and flames erupted, swallowing the hallway. Eli grabbed her arm, and they stumbled through the exit, the heat searing their backs. The ferals' screams followed them into the night. They ran until their lungs burned, collapsing in a ditch miles away. Mara's cough was worse, blood flecking her lips. Eli tore a strip from his shirt, binding a gash on her arm. "You're an idiot," she muttered, but her eyes were soft. He grunted, scanning the dark. "Takes one to know one." The Rockies were still weeks away, and the ferals wouldn't stop hunting. Food was scarce, Mara was sick, and Eli's ribs ached with every breath. But they'd survived another day. In a world gone feral, that was enough. They leaned against each other, watching the stars through the smoke, and for a moment, the end of the world felt almost bearable.